As Hastus suddenly comes back to his senses, Styx stops poking him with a stick.
Sticks. When someone tries to think, do you do that every time?
Yes.
I'm surprised you're alive.
I just get lucky.
Anyway, we've got this overburdened settlement. They've probably been cleaned out of all their winter stores, commandeered, no doubt, by the followers, the heroes of Brevoy.
Yep.
Um,
So,
well, we kind of got to think about this a little bit. I don't think we should. I get where you're going for, but I don't think that we should just get random people and bring them over. That's kind of what's got us in this bad situation in the first place. We should kind of look for people that
hold
will
on.
actually help
These
out.
aren't random people. This is a whole settlement that's been living in the region for as long as anyone can remember.
Yes, but also we don't really need any like the person that runs the general store down there. We don't really need him. We have too many cloaks as it is.
Are you sure? These people have connections to people in the region that are letting them live here.
It's
It's a
up to you.
community that's capable, it has skills and resources that we don't.
It has been able to sustain itself so far. So it definitely will have the necessary, if not farming skills, the necessary skills in actual trade to provide for itself.
Yeah.
However, how quickly can those skills be transferred over to Venison?
Probably as quickly as we can get them along the road over there.
Not
I'm thinking
exactly.
that
It takes
we have some
time.
building
Well,
resources.
if it's trade and whatever, and that those sort of skills, messages will effectively Vincent is taking over the purpose Novectus Crossing had. If it's farming and so on, we're probably too late in the season for that to have any effect.
That's true.
So you guys, well, while we're kind of just to give you a little bit of guidance. So things you can observe. You can definitely observe that there are farms. You can definitely observe that there is a fishing community because they fish from the river. You can it's very likely that there are a level of hunters and trappers because actually whilst the area on the near the road looks kind of old but somewhat civilized, the surrounding countryside most certainly does not, aside from the farms. They may have someone with building skills because someone needs to have built that bridge and that quite impressive kind of gate with a pair of watchtowers, which to Hass's eyes looks like a pretty impressive fortification, where you don't know where that's gone to. Maybe it's gone in the direction of this other settlement that the Scald of Isia was referring to. And there are undoubtedly tradesmen. There's a chapel by the looks of it here, Hestus.
Interesting. Does Hestus recognize what sort of symbology?
Yeah, it's a chapel of Pharasma.
Interesting.
What else do we have? Yeah, your guess would be that they kind of their trade to some degree is reliant on their location, like anywhere. So, this is the last, kind of civilized place really before you start hitting the outskirts of Restov, but it's sufficiently far away and out in out in a bit of no man's land, they also have to be fairly self-sufficient as well.
Hmm.
It doesn't invalidate the points you've made, though.
Astus thinks. He says,
Wait, hold
I
up,
guess
hold up.
we'll have to...
I just kind of want to point out, we're going after a whole bunch of ghosts, right? He kind of slowly motions towards the Temple of Pharasma.
Right. I suppose.
It might be wise to, if we can't get somebody there, perhaps pray a little bit, get some holy water, that good stuff,
Astus cracks his knuckles.
Have a cleric.
Don't know.
We might take them.
You are really quiet.
Sorry. I have had things that went down my throat.
Astus says, I think what we
extremely
should do
vague.
first is figure out if they have any leadership left after the heroes came. Because there may have been some sort of disagreement. It certainly looks like the people from the original Novactus Crossing kind of got the shit end of the stick. So I'm thinking that on some level negotiations broke down when the heroes arrived. If there were any to begin with. Should probably go in there and start asking questions. And of course, pick up our 2 hangers-on.
Oh yeah, by the way, you were gonna show us how to do lightning, right?
Who?
Styx motions towards the whole gnome. I
Oh,
believe
yes.
his name was Dave.
The whole gnome.
Yes.
The Svifernerfel. Astus mispronounces horribly.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced whole gnome.
Oh, that doesn't seem quite right.
Who keeps calling him a whole gnome?
Styx.
Styx. How many hit points does Styx have?
Do you have an ability to let you know?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh. Really?
gotcha.
No, it's called casting a lightning bolt but not wanting to kill you.
Ah. You can always try and find out.
Casting a lightning bolt but not wanting to kill you.
Please don't use magic inside the tents. Destructive magic. Astus has
Can you
had some
take
bad
5d6?
experiences.
Wait, hold up. His hands did a little thing. He was gonna show us how he does lightning. Let's just watch.
And how lightning proof are you?
Not at all. Let's do this. Just like, do it over in that direction. He points in the opposite direction of himself.
Astus holds his hands up.
Invite him to
What?
shoot lightning at you.
No,
Don't
he's inviting
do
you to
that.
shoot lightning in the other direction of him.
He is certainly implying that he's going to shoot you.
Astus says, would you cut it out? We're discussing more important things than...
It's important to know
Like-
the abilities of your companions. It is completely obvious he just wants to see somebody shoot lightning out of their hands.
Astus leans into Styx's personal space and gets his face right up in the little halfling's face. And he
He
says,
points his finger at you. Are you sure that you wish for this to happen?
I mean, yeah, just like do it in the other direction of me.
Drop it.
Be wasteful.
He is nothing but wasteful. Please don't disregard him. The rest of us tend to.
Astus just shakes his head.
Hey, I found important information about them when I was on my little trip.
Important information about who?
Oh, the heroes.
Right. What did you find?
Oh, well, let's see, that one, really attractive guy that, played the lute really well. He's really good at
Janus
divination.
Savor?
Now, Janos was the, cleric, if I remember correctly.
Right. Zoke.
Yeah, he is really good at divination, and also he has some sort of anti-magic thing he can do. And
Interesting.
on top of that, the cleric of the group seems to be the cautious one of them, and is the one that takes measures against people that might be trying to break in.
Interesting. So he's the clever one.
Yes. He's the Hastus. And,
What? Astus says.
and, the, guy that has the, he kind of motions towards his, arm at the bicep. That's, like, as big as my body.
The warrior.
Yeah, he
Should I
doesn't
call
care
him a
who's in
beast?
his way, he's just wanting to kill people.
Pleasant fellow.
He's probably not somebody that you can rationally talk to you, but he's probably somebody that you can trick.
Syl will, while you're doing this, standing in the background, being non-interesting.
By the way, I did want to, ask you something back there, whole gnome. He says, looking between the two of them. So the tavern was locked up to the heroes and only the heroes. How were you staying there?
Stubbornness.
That's not really a satisfactory answer.
He will look at Hastus and say, "Is this creature of noble blood?"
Fuck if I know, Astus says.
Now,
Are you?
you would only be there, and they would have trusted you enough if you actually would have, let's say, known them and had some sort of arrangement with them.
I'm inclined to think not, Astus adds after Styx says that.
It's likely if he was already there and they came
No,
in. His
judging,
answer of stubbornness.
judging by how they reacted when I was trying to get in, they would have chased him out if they wanted the tavern to themselves.
Well,
So,
maybe in Styx's limited
Their
limited experience.
disinclination to fight for it.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I didn't actually catch that.
Their disinclination to fight for their privacy.
Not to be rude, but you are just some random things that are hunting people that just kind of want to tag along.
The tent becomes dark. You are unable to see.
Oh, cool, that's nice. Since I was directing that at you, make a reflex save. Don't need to see ya.
How do I need to make a reflex save?
He's using a special ability on you, apparently. We're entering combat.
Player versus player, really.
Things got dark after you were questioned. It
It's true,
got
that is
shady
rather
as
creepy.
fuck all of a sudden. Dun-dun-ts.
Sure.
Ego, we're trying to kill each other now.
Not a lot. Even slightly. I rolled a natural 1.
Do you take increased damage on a nat 1?
No.
Okay.
Why am I getting attacked?
So Ego.
Each other again?
Yes.
So, Dave used the thing to make the tent dark. I used hazard on Dave. He rolled his reflex save and got a 1. What happened?
Okay. What's Dave doing at the moment?
Standing there.
He was towards the corner of the tent, if I remember correctly.
Against a wall.
Yep.
Or a post, as the case may be.
The outside of the tent is also dark.
And this would have happened whenever this started, so it would actually be a concentration as well to actually do the spell.
It's a spell-like ability.
I know, still, it's a concentration check.
We haven't decided initiative order yet.
Yeah, but this is a free action.
We haven't decided initiative order yet.
But are you causing my hazard in reaction to me casting darkness?
Yes, that's what he did. Okay.
My dark just set and forget.
Hostilities erupted
Okay.
ever so quickly.
That was very quick.
You
I cast a non-damaging.
No.
You were being
It's an area
questioned.
control.
You were being questioned, and you cast a spell whenever you got defensive.
Yes.
I'm not going to make a value judgment.
no.
Bad things are happening.
It is a bad thing. But this is how he would treat an NPC. Imagine if you were questioning an NPC, and they got like that, and then they cast a spell.
He thinks he answered you quite perfectly well.
Not really.
I guess let's see what happens.
Right. You're perhaps due to a difference between appearances and otherwise, Nasilin believes he misjudged his footing and manages to catch the front part of his foot at the point where one of the main wooden beams of the tent is tied down. This has the effect when he turns of swinging his body round and his face catching into said post, hitting his nose in a rather painful fashion. Oh dear. Right.
And it is a DC 10 24 plus spell level to actually have the spell go through whenever you're damaged.
So Nasilin has managed to basically kind of get his foot caught, pivot, and then smash his nose into the post for 7 points of damage.
How's it 7?
my reading of it, dude. But
I just
I
rolled it.
am.
It's the 14. I did it before the reflex save.
So we'll cover that I am because I don't like having mechanics conversations
Okay.
otherwise. But yeah. So it's yeah.
So is it going to be the 7 or 14?
Do I get to jump in now?
It will be the 7.
Okay.
All right.
Do I get
Nacillin, that was just kind of a bit weird, basically. There's no obvious cause.
Is that a supernatural, magical, or extraordinary ability?
It is
Should be not extraordinary, it's supernatural.
supernatural ability. Ah.
That is a good point.
Thought I'd raise it.
I would need to read that.
So that'd actually be a DC 17 plus spell level.
Yeah.
I guess.
Just give us a moment because we've got two
Okay.
funky picking PCs and their abilities interacting with one another.
Well, supernaturals bypass spell resistance, if that's the
Yeah.
question.
Ah, do they? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has to be a spell or spell-like ability for spell resistance to apply.
Fair enough. Okay.
Can I see a supernatural ability with detect magic?
It's not something you can identify easily, but yeah, you can see it as magic.
And you were looking at him.
attacked me.
Here we go.
You were casting a spell!
I didn't cast a spell. There is no detectable movement in that casting.
I saw magic
Is
flickering.
hang on. Is there? So can we just slow down, guys? Because I realise we've got two slightly wacky characters whose stuff interacting. So
Darkness is just I will darkness to exist.
yeah, no. I'm not challenging that. And the reaction to it was not obvious action on your part. It was a supposition on behalf of
Oh yeah.
Styx. So that's fine. In terms of then Styx's use of his ability, the fact that it is a free action suggests to me that whilst it might be possible for you to detect it were you paying attention at the point, i.e. if you were an observer of the action, then that might be one thing. But the fact it's a free action means it's almost operating like an at-will. It's just he can't do it at will. So I would actually say it wouldn't be something you could actually detect in this situation.
Okay,
Because you're
fine.
not-
I don't need to see him whenever I do it, though, so I'll still just do it afterwards, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
saying I don't believe it's something that you could observe unless you were consciously looking for it, if that makes sense, which I don't believe you were.
Also, I have a point about spell-like abilities. Despite not having a verbal or somatic component, they're still detectable because they provoke attacks of opportunity,
Yeah.
and you can make spellcraft checks to figure out what they are or what they're replicating, regardless of your expertise.
Oh,
Yeah.
So there's something about them that makes them visible.
Okay, but that's fine. But this isn't a spell-like ability.
I meant the darkness ability that he was using.
Yeah.
Oh. So what
yeah,
you mean
it's
in terms
it's
some kind
stoked
of
now, and he stubbed his toe.
Sorry, Ego, I couldn't hear what you said.
Sorry, so if it has no semantic or sort of, requires gesture component to it, then how are you going to tell? I get the fact that
Right.
you know
It still has a concentration component. Like, you can still have your concentration broken,
that's
so that
fine.
means they need to.
So that's
And,
fine. But
Um,
that in sorry, just let me finish. So yes, it has a concentration component to it, but that supposes that you have someone where you're within their threat range where that's relevant. In this situation, it's not relevant because
Well,
you're not in that situation.
an action that's done instantly probably goes a bit faster than somebody swinging their sword, though.
Yeah, it's at least a standard action to activate, and if you're paying attention, it's evident. I
And
wouldn't say
Styx was
How-
extremely
so-
suspicious of Syl. Well, Dave.
So, okay, because we're going to have this come up again, so let's try and kind of put it to bed now, as we've got into a mechanical discussion. So, I don't get that. So,
Right.
if there's no gesture component,
Mhm.
and
And
there's
no
no
speech
semantic-
component.
yeah, I can get that someone can be disrupted from doing it because they're in combat and they're in someone's threat range, and therefore they may very well have to make a concentration check, or the fact that they're not paying attention to their opponent creates an attack of opportunity for that opponent.
But
that I get.
it would-
That's let me finish first. Let me finish. Okay, that I get. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. But that presupposes a situation where that person is already in combat with an opponent. Yeah. Where they're already in an opposed scenario. Yeah. If you have a situation like this where people are chatting, okay, if there is no semantic or gestural component, I don't see how you can say you can observe it. Yeah, and the person may be concentrating to create the effect. That's fine, but that in itself is not necessarily observable.
But the thing
All right.
is, how would, let's say in combat, would a combatant observe, hey, they're using a spell-like ability, that's an opening
Ego's
for me.
saying they aren't observing the spell-like ability, they're observing the gap in concentration the spell-like ability creates.
Correct. Because there's nothing to observe. Yeah? Okay, there's no tell, to put it in poker terms. There's no
So,
tell. Yeah?
I
The
would
only
have to
tell is
ask.
that they're concentrating. And
I
it's
would have
not
to ask. I'd have to ask then if you can do the same thing with a normal spell, where if you use the right meta magic to remove components, you can make it like this.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
And every
What if
little
you
buff to spell-like abilities, good on me, because Donovan.
What if what if you have a class feature that heightens your senses, like studied target or uncanny dodge?
So you can study if you're studying target, you get a bonus, I believe, to perception.
Mm-hmm.
So you might get a prompt from me to say they're definitely concentrating on something, but I don't see where you get the information against which to do the spellcraft check. That's my point. I don't understand. I understand why mechanically they've decided they wanted to do it, but it's not logical because there's no data for you to analyze, for you then to make the spellcraft check from.
Yeah, I don't think you can make a spellcraft check until the effect's gone off.
Yeah. But
I
by
think
the same
that's
token,
logical.
yeah, but by the same token, there's no obvious prompt apart from my opponent is now not fully concentrating on me, and this provides me then with the attack of opportunity or whatever response may be appropriate.
But at that point, though, wouldn't it be possible to do, let's say, a perception check to notice, hey, this person I'm talking to is suddenly concentrating on something else?
Yes,
Would that make it an opposed perception bluff deal?
you could do it along those lines. Yes, but only if you were anticipating. Would be my suggestion.
What?
Yeah.
But then there's the whole, if somebody's
Klaus is
extremely...
basically getting at, is Styx anticipating hostilities from Nasselin?
It's if somebody's extremely suspicious of someone, that should give them a bit of cause to be of a, hey, this guy kind of could go off the deep end at any moment, and he did kind of openly go, hey, probably gonna shoot you with lightning. He kind of heavily implied that.
So
Yes, as you were being pestered about it.
That's still enough for somebody to be cautious.
So the situation, as far as I'm concerned, is that there's no obvious tell with an SLA unless there is context that would clearly provide that. And even if there is, unless you have an other associated ability, there is nothing that will easily tie what happens to the effect that occurs. Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason people take silent magic and still magic. Yeah, so that doesn't in any way prevent Styx deciding that it was Nasselin who did this. I'm just saying that for me, that is an important difference between an SLA and a normal spell, which has a semantic and gestorial component.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. So that occurs. Styx reacts with what he does, and
Now we're in the shit.
And as it was a supernatural ability, then SR, if it was relevant, doesn't apply. So the ability goes off.
I do want to kind of ask for a second, real quick. So I don't roll for my attack for that. It's you, not me.
Ego made a decision.
Okay.
I'm trying to not have half an hour mechanics desperately. I'm failing, but I am trying. If you read your ability, it does not do as much damage as you rolled.
I rolled 3d6, and you also rolled 3d6. You can hover over the 14, and it shows how much I rolled.
Okay.
Yeah. I just rolled a bit better than you did.
Fine. Okay.
So where are we now?
I stand corrected. So, in which case then, so Nasselin has a bloody nose, and I will correct that. He has taken 14 points of damage, not 7.
Nesselin is not in a state of being happy.
No.
Turn this damn darkness off!
Why? What is the base light level of the tent?
The base light level of the tent is dim light.
Alright, so it is supernatural darkness.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is Hastus free to act?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hastus is going to reach over and try to grab sticks.
Okay, it's
have
kind of
attacked.
feeling like we are in combat
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point. Now,
I am actively trying to avoid combat.
no, I get it, dude. But
The
in
situation
mechanical
kinda...
point,
Oh yeah.
because now it's no longer 2 players going Yar and Boo. You've now got 3 of you.
So what is it? Roll initiative or something?
It certainly seems to be that way. Yes.
Right.
Let's
What's
see.
initiative roll? How do I
Find
roll
the
initiative
key.
in this?
There's
Oh.
a button on your sheet. It says hit.
I forgot to add +3.
Okay.
So Hastus has got 15. Not bad.
Okay.
Where's the button for it?
Sheesh, Ricky rolled well.
Oh, that's Ricky, which is the more useless one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay in my normal form. I'm not gonna switch. I don't actually want to attempt to kill anyone.
Neither does Hastus.
Let's have a
But
look.
it seems that things are occurring.
Yeah. Cool. Do we have a turn tracker?
I can bring up a turn tracker, but it works.
Needs tokens.
Needs
Yeah.
token.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all right. I'm happy to. Who else is in the tent?
Got Hastus, Andoran.
Do you want to roll for Endoran then, please, dude?
Yeah.
Got Julian. Belaria's outside.
Okay.
Andoran's a quickie. Quick one.
Yeah, it really is. And is that for the
That's for Durnab.
Durnab? Fine. So if we can have Andoran first, please.
Oh, this is not something Andoran wants to be involved in. So who's been talking? I think it was Styx. Yeah, Styx was interrogating Naslin, and then everything went dark. And then Andoran was probably standing behind Hastus.
And then Nasilin swore.
Interesting.
You do not
What?
speak Shadow Tongue?
Andoran certainly does not. But he understands the tone. I suppose Andoran will then... draw his sword. And ready in action for if anything tries to attack him. He'll retaliate. And that'll be his turn.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. But let's be clear, okay, right? You as players have some idea what's going on, but as characters, you've got no idea probably why. So everyone's basically suddenly just turned out the lights, and I'm guessing quite a few of you don't have dark vision, which is going to put you at quite a significant disadvantage.
Well, it's supernatural
Dark vision won't do
darkness, so nobody sees. Yay!
Yeah, Andoran's like, oh, what happened?
Hastus is probably having
next turn.
PTSD.
Yeah, no kidding.
Who's the next one? The beloved of Shadow person.
No, it's Ricky.
yeah.
Ricky, being Ricky, probably takes a step closer to where he thinks his brother is and takes out his cutlass, preparing an action to attack if
Okay.
anything happens.
Okay. Next would be Durnub.
Takes no action.
Next now will be Nasilin.
Yasin will reach inside of his coat
Yeah.
and draw the Durnub's potion that you guys didn't want to try, and we'll take it.
Okay.
And after that, he will sit down.
So that's basically okay. That's your actions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian?
Can detect magic detect who turned out the fucking lights?
No.
Yes or no?
No, you'd be able to detect the focus point. Which is
Which
a
would
spot.
be... And it would be near Naslin?
So I
As-
recommend you read the spell Detect Magic and what it does.
Ah, yes.
Because
It takes time.
Because yes, it takes time, and what has happened is when they moved it from 3.5 to Pathfinder, they changed the spell as well as changing the level. And I have written about this in the rules addendum, which isn't in itself a rule change. It's just me saying, guys, this is what the spell actually does, but a lot of people remember what it used to do.
Fair enough.
That-
Which, yeah, I've had a read through it, in which case, nope, that's not what I'm doing. Instead, I'm simply going to say, so, who made it very dark all of a sudden, and what is exactly that is going on right now?
It's the damn whole gnome. He's avoiding questions and he made this happen.
I am
I
not
wouldn't say-
avoiding questions.
I wouldn't say he is avoiding questions.
You are
So
not
is it Hastus's turn?
understanding answers. Sorry. You are not understanding my answers.
Let's try not to kill each other, please. Neither productive nor suitable.
I have made no aggressive acts.
You made
Turning
it
out the
dope.
light.
I like the light.
Yeah, turning out the light sort of puts us at a disadvantage, unfortunately. I'd appreciate it if you would discontinue.
Yet I am also unable to see.
We don't have any proof of that.
Iga?
I didn't even know whole gnomes were a thing until we met you.
Ego?
yeah.
Can Hastus attempt to grab Ricky by the neck now?
Yes,
Sticks.
yes, you can.
I will strike up a song to give you Inspire Competence, so you gain a +2 to that roll.
Alright,
Nice.
so the thing about it is complete darkness, so it's 50% concealment, and Styx has a thing that you have to roll 2d10s, and I get to choose which one is the ones place and which one is the tens place.
Fine by me. I'm just gonna make the attempt.
Okay.
And
Also, I
so,
always forget, concealment, are you going for low or high if to hit?
high numbers are better.
Okay.
This D&D high number's better.
So it's at 20. Does that beat your CMD?
Eh,
Actually, you know what? I'll spend 5 stamina and make it 25.
Uh,
yeah, that definitely beats it.
so now it's a 50% chance.
Yep.
Well, a little bit
Roll
lower than
double numbers.
50% because
Fine.
Sorry. What's the issue, Klaus?
I said a little bit lower than 50% because I took that lovely combination of entropy field and let's see what it was.
So that might work.
Oh. I guess let me look what the name of that was real quick, because I thought I took it, but I guess I didn't. Fortune favor, let me check his thing again real quick. Yes, I did. So, 48 does not make it.
Why not?
50% concealment, because darkness.
Oh, I see, you're choosing.
And I'm using Fortune's Favor, which lets me choose the 10's digits and 1's digits for
Fine.
concealment.
Okay.
Styx
So-
kind of feels your hair just like brush over his hair.
Alright. I think that's Hastus's turn. There's not much else he can do. So he just goes, "Come here, you little..."
Right.
And
Is Andoran doing anything with the action he held?
nobody's tried to attack him, but he heard what Hastus said, so he doesn't really know what's going on.
Okay. Who else held an action? Ricky, I think, drew a weapon and held an action.
Yeah. And... as... Actually, Styx should have went before Hastus.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, he
no.
had a
Held
plus
an action.
3. He had a plus 3, so he
it is
did go
Styx
before.
now. It is Styx now.
Okay. So,
Oh yeah, Hastus had a +3 that I forgot to account for.
Styx, instead of using Hazard, is actually going to use... No, he's actually going to just use Hazard.
On?
On you, because I don't need to have a line of sight on you. Oh! Got another 14. And you can do a reflex save for half.
How am I even, like, getting a hazard? I'm sitting down.
Laws of probability!
No, they're on!
Okay. It appears that when you caught
So
your
yes, I can roll something that's not a 1.
yeah, so it appears when you caught your foot into that temp hole and then swung yourself and decided to headbutt it, you then kind of pirouetted and sat down. However, you then loosened said temp hole, which has now fallen down and hit you on the head.
And Styx is also going to... What kind of action is it to take out weapons?
Move.
He's
Move
going to
action,
use a move action to take out his crossbows. And use a swift action to load them with his handy-dandy special thing.
Cool. You can use a move action to draw one weapon.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I just draw
Unless
one.
you have two-weapon fighting.
Load a hand crossbow.
I do have
you
two-weapon
need
fighting.
an empty hand. You need an empty hand to load a hand crossbow.
I do not need an empty hand, actually. So, handy-dandy two-weapon crossbow. And taking 2 shots towards where I saw,
You can't.
Why not?
Because you drew it as a
that-
move action, so you can only attack once.
Okay. Well, apparently I didn't set up to just have one attack, so ignore the second attack on this.
So, just so I'm clear, I understand you drew 2, but that would be a move action for each, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
so
two-weapon-
I would just go with the 1 then. Oh,
No.
unless 2 weapon
Klaus,
fighting.
Klaus, slow down. Okay, you have 2 hand crossbows, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You draw 1, that's a move action. You can use a standard action as a move action to draw the second one, but at that point you cannot shoot.
Yeah, so I'll just draw the 1
The only
and
way
shoot
you
then.
can shoot,
Hold on.
the only way you can shoot is if you draw. Yeah, I'm guessing using.
I did
abilities-
say that I'm not actually doing the second attack because I don't actually just have the 1 weapon set up.
No, I understand, but I want to be clear. You've not drawn the second weapon. Then it's not just
Yeah.
you're not doing the second attack. You've not drawn the second weapon because Cam's absolutely right. You are stretching the action envelope considerably. I understand you have an ability that will provide ammo into said hand crossbow. Fine, I get that. So you don't have a load action, but you still have a move action to draw it, and you then would need to use your standard action to fire it.
That's what I just did.
Just a second, though. If he has 2-weapon fighting, he can draw 2 weapons as a move action.
Which I do.
It's one of the perks of having 2-weapon fighting.
Actually, I'm going to double check that I do, because yes, I do.
Are you positive on that, Downfall?
Quite.
Okay. All right. In which case, then fair enough. So you've drawn, and you're able to shoot 1.
And I'll have to roll the 2d10s for that. So that first one.
Right. Well, hang on, dude.
Oh yeah, it's just the 1 because
I'm in a different square.
You
Yeah.
said that you just set down where you were at.
No, but dude, hang on. Okay, right. There's a difference between you using an ability that doesn't require targeting, and you're effectively shooting into the dark.
Yeah, it's still a 50% concealment chance as long as you accurately guess or know the correct square of it.
But I'm
Naslin hasn't.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest that you don't necessarily know the correct square of it.
I would just be aiming where he was standing.
Okay, so you're going to take a guess on where he was standing. So make the 50% chance.
And no matter how I put that, that's a miss.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision?
It doesn't matter in this whatsoever.
But he doesn't.
It does if you put a hole in the tent and it's light outside.
That is a good point. And yes.
Because anybody with dark vision would be able to see the hole in the tent.
Yep. Yeah. There is a hole in the tent. It's not as big as it would otherwise be, as the bolt has snagged in the corner of the tent that is basically collapsing because the pole has fallen out and fallen inwards.
Brief question, Ego. Tastus can hear the crossbow going off, right?
Correct.
You are so fucked, Styx.
Okay, I want to point out again. Hastus sees this guy getting questioned, knows he's a mage. Whenever he gets all defensive, the lights go out.
What happens next?
We're not going to get into the habit of questioning how other people.
I know, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
point that out.
Yeah, people are playing their characters.
I know.
They're reacting. Yeah, you're playing your character. You're reacting. Let's go with that. Okay. Unless anyone has any held actions that they wish to use, I believe it's a new initiative round, in which case it will be Andoran. Andoran, you has most definitely heard some kind of projectile weapon go off.
Yep. He will stab in the direction of the projectile weapon. He'll move and stab at it.
Okay, so
Are you
it is
attempting to attack the
it is
crossbow?
absolutely pitch dark in here, and Doran will be aware that A, the chance of hitting something is low, B, he has no idea what he would hit, including
That's
Hestus.
true.
Yeah?
And Doran thinks twice. And he says, Hestus, what's going on? And he'll ready an action to protect himself. And that'll be his turn.
Okay. Interesting.
Who's next?
Next will be Ricky.
Just because it doesn't actually have any effect on anything. Well, Ricky's actually going to... Two small creatures can share the same screen, right?
No.
No.
Okay, never mind. Well, he's just gonna continue holding his action.
Well, you can, but you'd be squeezing.
Yeah, but he's just gonna continue holding.
Cool.
Is there a bit of light in the tent where he can actually see with his dark vision?
Not really, no, because
Okay.
where you shot is in the part of the tent that is collapsing inwards. So your quarrel got snagged, basically, in that corner. But
Well, having a little bit of thought, he's going to actually try to stumble towards the edge of the tent. If he feels like he runs into the cloth of it, he's just going to take a slash.
which edge?
Whichever way... It wouldn't go directly towards Syl. Well, where he thinks Syl is. So he would go
Away
the other
from
way.
Syl. Into Andoran, who is prepared to defend.
Well, we
Fine,
don't actually have where everybody was set up.
No, that's fine. So you're backing away. Is that
Yeah.
fair? Okay, this is Ricky, yeah?
Yep.
Ricky's backing away. Fine. Okay. Okay. Nasselin.
Oh, I really want to cast this.
Don't forget you took 14 more damage.
I know. That's why I really want to cast this.
You should.
This is
How's your
bad.
fort save?
Find out.
Well, this spell has the death and pain subschools.
Always
Probably
promising.
shouldn't be casting spells when people are trying to ask questions.
That's not, guys. Can we keep in play, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing, Nasselin? Quickly.
I will, as free action, drop the end the darkness effect.
Okay.
Can you do that?
I believe so.
Cool. I'm not going to question that.
It's an ongoing spell.
Dismissing a spell is a standard action that does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay. So you're going to spell it. You're going to dismiss it. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Then I
You're not.
can't cast Quelling Agony. Can I cast 2 spells in a round if one of them is a swift action?
Yes.